Sleep is the cousin of death. NAS, New York State of Mind. Not entirely sure what that means, but it seemed like a pretty cool quote. In this video, I'm going to explore how sleep could be impacting your running performance and what you can do about it. The classic way to view your training regime is like a pyramid. What is often said is you need strong foundations to be able to maintain your training effectively. And this is completely true. At the bottom of your pyramid, you have your foundations, and that's nutrition and recovery. You can't out-train a bad diet, and you can't train well with bad recovery. Sleep is the best tool we have in the Swiss Army knife of recovery techniques, but it is often the first one to be neglected in the busy lifestyles we now lead. Balancing kids, work, training, household chores often means we run out of time and sleep takes a hit. Half an hour here, half an hour there, might not seem a lot in the short term, but added up over a week, yeah, it adds up to many hours. This is going to lead to sleep deprivation and many other effects we're going to explore later in this video. Before the 1950s, people thought that sleep was just a passive activity where the body and the brain was dormant. But Dr. Mark Wu, a sleep expert and neurologist from Johns Hopkins University, says, it turns out sleep is a period during which your brain is engaged in a number of activities necessary to life, which is closely linked to quality of life. So what are the different types of sleep? Because there aren't just one. The first part of your sleep cycle is the non-REM sleep, which is composed of 4 stages. The first stage is between being awake to falling asleep. The second is light sleep, when your heart rate and breathing regulate and body temperature drops. And the third and fourth stages, there are deep sleep. Though REM sleep was previously thought to be the most important phase for learning and memory, newer data suggests that non-REM sleep is more important for these tasks, as well as being the most restful and most restorative phase of sleep. As you move into REM sleep, the eyes move more rapidly behind closed lids. REM means rapid eye movement. Your brain waves become similar to those of ones when you were awake. Your breathing rate increases and your body becomes temporarily paralyzed as we dream. If you didn't paralyze, you'd probably act out your movements and hit the person next to you, if you were lucky enough to have a person next to you. The cycle then repeats itself, but with each cycle you spend less time in the deeper stages, which are 3 and 4, and more time in REM sleep. On a typical night, you will cycle through 4 or 5 times. But why do we actually need sleep? Like a poor diet, poor sleep can throw your hormones right out of whack. A study done of over 60,000 women aged 16 and above found that sleeping only 5 hours a night or less meant on average you were 32% more likely to have major weight gain, which actually was defined as putting on 33 pounds or more, and you were 15% more likely to be obese. The numbers lessened as you got more sleep, and it was 12% if you got around 6 hours and 6% if you got around 7 hours a night. Sleep is also when all the cell repairing is done. During a workout, you're breaking down your muscles on a cellular level, so sleep is key to be able to fix them, repair them, strengthen them up, and get all the adaptations needed. Furthermore, a lack of sleep could be depressing your immune system, meaning you're more likely to get ill. So, getting more sleep can help put a stop to that. So 5 hours isn't enough, 6 hours is enough, 7 hours doesn't seem enough either. How much sleep do we actually need? The CDC says the average adult, defined as between being 18 to 60, needs at least 7 hours a night. That is the average adult. Now, a lot of us watching this video are going to train a lot more than the average adult. So I'm actually going to argue we're going to need a lot more than 7 hours. You're looking more towards that kind of 8-hour mark. Younger children need more too. When you're in your teenage years, you need between 8 and 10 hours. When you're in kind of primary school age, more up towards 9 and 12. But it's not just about how much we sleep, it's about the quality of sleep too. Alcohol, caffeine, and screens can cause poor quality of sleep. Turns out women are actually far more prone to poor quality of sleep too. Reproductive hormones impact sleep in women, so you're more likely to have disturbed sleep depending on which part of the menstrual cycle you're in. To help with that, it is important to have a set routine. This can be done by setting a rigid bedtime and wake-up time. A predictable routine helps your body stay on track during the ebbs and flows of your hormone changes. If you experience other symptoms like hot flashes or missed periods, consult your doctor to test for pregnancy, menopause, or hormonal imbalance. Other things that could affect your sleep too are things like training really hard just before your bedtime. When you run and train hard, you're pumping your brain and body full of adrenaline, particularly on those big session days. Training is great to physically exhaust yourself, but moving it slightly towards the earlier parts of the day is going to help your sleep. So what are the key takeaways? Sleep is really important to be able to repair your muscles. Got to make sure we're going to get enough of it, probably way above 7 hours for most of us here. And there are a few things we can do, like decreasing our alcohol and caffeine just before we go to sleep, and moving our workout slightly earlier towards the day to help improve our sleep quality. Just been a short video to tell you why we need sleep and how it's really important for our running. If you did like this video, please give it a like and subscribe below. I've been the Learning Runner, and I'll catch you in the next one.